If you're an office worker and you think you're competing with other people for promotions, pay rises and job security, you're already behind. Because you're not just competing with other humans anymore, you're competing with AI, and the scary part is most people don't even realize the competition has started. Not because AI has replaced them, but because AI has changed what good performance looks like. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how office workers are already competing with AI right now, the exact way the rules quietly changed, and the one shift that moves you from being compared to AI to being the person who uses AI while still staying valuable. And make sure you stay till the end, because I'll give you a simple action plan you can start this week to make yourself harder to replace without turning your life into a tech career. Here's the truth that makes this feel real. In most offices, you don't get measured against your job description, you get measured against expectations. And AI is raising expectations without asking anyone for permission. That's why this competition has already started. The moment AI tools entered workflows, speed and polish stopped being skills and started being defaults. The email that used to take 20 minutes now takes 2, the summary that used to take an hour now takes 10 minutes, and the report that used to take a day now takes an afternoon. And once those things become possible, management quietly starts expecting them. This is why office workers are already competing with AI, because the baseline has already moved. Not officially, nobody sent a company-wide email saying from today you're competing with AI, but you feel it. Deadlines tighten, output expectations rise, the margin for error shrinks, and suddenly being good at your job doesn't feel as good as it used to. It competes with you like a standard. It becomes a silent comparison in the background, and once that happens, your value gets judged differently. Before AI, being experienced meant you could produce better work faster than a junior. You had polish, you had process, you could write clearly, you could organize information, you could make things look professional. That created ladder separation. AI collapses that separation. So now you're not competing with the junior's writing speed. You're competing with what a junior plus AI can produce. And that's a brutal shift because it changes the company's internal maths. If one person plus AI can do what 2 people used to do, the company doesn't need 2 people forever. It just needs one person who can handle more with tools. That's when competition becomes real. Now, here's the trap most office workers fall into the moment they sense this. They try to win by becoming faster. They try to beat AI at the exact thing AI is best at, producing output quickly. They respond instantly, they write more emails, they deliver more documents, they close more tasks, they become the efficient worker. And for a short time it looks like it works, they get praised, they get valuable, but long term it backfires. Because when your value is output, you're competing with machine designed to output, and machines don't get tired. This is the uncomfortable truth. The more you define your value as output, the more you invite comparison with AI, and AI always gets better. That means the competition gets harder every single year. So what actually wins in an AI office? This is where the real psychology of office survival kicks in. In offices, value doesn't come from effort. Value comes from dependence. It comes from whether the system needs you, and AI changes the system's dependence. It reduces dependence on people who primarily translate, summarize, format, prepare, coordinate and report, because AI can do those tasks, or at least make them so fast that fewer humans are needed. That's why some office workers feel strangely insecure even while being productive. The more efficient the workflow comes, the less human headcount the workflow seems to require. So here's the question you need to ask yourself, and I want you to keep this in your head while you watch the rest of the video because it changes everything. If my job disappeared tomorrow, would anything meaningful break? Not would someone be annoyed, not would the team be inconvenienced, would outcomes actually break? Because the people who survive AI shifts are the ones whose absence creates risk, delays, decisions, or harms outcomes. The people who get squeezed are the ones whose absence is quietly absorbed by the system. Now, let's make this even more real. Right now, there are 2 competitions happening inside offices. One competition is visible, one competition is visible. Humans competing with humans for projects, promotions, and recognition. The other competition is invisible. Humans being compared to AI-enabled output. And the invisible competition is the one reshaping teams. This is why you see roles being merged. This is why you see efficiency language. It's not always because the company is struggling, it's because leadership is learning the same lesson everywhere. We can run leaner. That's the reality office workers are already competing with. with. So how do you stop competing with AI and start using it in a way that makes you harder to replace? Here's the shift, and it's the one that separates people who get squeezed from people who rise. You move from being task-based to outcome-based. Task-based looks like I write reports, I send the email, I update the tracker, I summarize the meeting. Outcome-based looks like I help leadership decide, I prevent mistakes, I reduce risk, I make sure decisions turn into action, I protect relationships, and I fix problems before they grew. AI is incredible at tasks. It struggles with ownership. It struggles with judgment under uncertainty. It struggles with responsibility when things go wrong. That's where you win. So instead of trying to be the fastest email writer, become the person who makes sure the email achieves the right outcome. Instead of being the person who takes notes, become the person who drives the next step. Instead of being the person who produces reports, become the person who highlights what matters and what needs action. And that sounds small, but it changes your position. It moves you closer to consequences. And consequences are the safest place to be in an AI-driven office. If you want some clarity, comment down below your specific job role and I'll let you know roughly how long you have got until AI will take your position, and I'll give you some tips on how you can prolong this and optimize your role to last as long as possible. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for everything in office worker related. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.